Hi friends. So in today's coding challenge, the task is to merge two sorted arrays, and the final resultant merged array should be in sorted order too. So let's begin coding. So this is the input. We have two different arrays and they are in sorted order, and the resultant array we need to code should also be a combined array with the sorted order. So first thing what we are doing here is we have taken two arrays. So we are combining a length of both these two and then creating the new array. So this would have the length, but everything would be 0 to begin with initially. So now what we would do is first we would iterate over our C array, which is the C dot length. Now for what element we need to put here, that we need to decide, right? So what we would do here is we have two different arrays. So we would check value for in both of them, and whatever value is lesser between both of these two, that would come and get assigned to the C. So what are the ways to do that? First is, and you also need to take care that this is 8 length and this is 4, so it should not give you the index array out of bound. So what we can do is we can have two more counters, and you would say I1 and I2. Now you would say while I1 is less than a dot length, or rather you should say if this is less than this guy, then what you would do is you would take the value for this and assign it in C. So this is simple. A's array, and then the value would go like this. Now this is the element. Okay, we need to initialize it too, so let's do that. Now same thing we might need to do for second. So once we do that, we might have to increment it too. So now we'll do the same thing for the second array as well, that if this value is less than b, then we would take the b array and then increment the counter for b. So once this thing is done, I hope you should get the array with the equal length. So there is some problem between these things, that it is not taking the additional values. So let's see what's going on here. So when you're coming here, first you're running this and then you're running this value. So both of them, when you're running together, it doesn't make sense. So you need to compare like which one is bigger, and then you need to just keep or take only one value. So how would you do that? That's the question. So one way of doing it is you can get the answer and then you can compare the answer and then pick one between both these two. So we will have the int a element is equal to 0, and then b element is equal to 0 too. This is a element. So now we need to put the a element here and then b element here. And now we need to compare if A element is less than B element. If this is the case, C of I would get the A's array and I1 value, and after that you can increment this value. If this case is not true, then you would do the other way, like C of I would get the value from B and the value would be I2, and you can increment that. Let's try it this way. So here the problem is okay, we missed this thing here, that is why. Now what are we missing? Let's debug this. Okay, so after debugging, what we figured out here is that when we are doing this condition, when we are trying to assign, there would be a case where you might take 3 items from here, and then there will be a disbalance actually. So for that, what we did is, if one array gets exhausted before the other one, we have a else loop. So the remaining items we would take from the other array. So here we have taken the A array. For example, A array gets exhausted, which means all the elements are already in C. Then we will use the else loop, and all the values which are there in the B array, all the remaining items, we will populate inside the combine or the C resultant array, and we'll break the loop. So that's how this thing is working fine. We have all the sorted elements, and yeah, thanks for watching this. See you later in next challenge. Bye.